Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for watching. This is the Mental Bullet Media show, the first of many, hopefully, definitely. And today we're going to be talking. So, just a little introduction to ourselves. My name is Deji Bankole, CEO of the company.
Sure. Hey, there you go.
Big title there.
Title right there. Big title.
My background is in filmmaking. Well,
Let me interview you. I'll interview you. So, Deji, what's your background? What did you do before you started Mental Bullet Media?
Well, before I started Mental Bullet Media, I was working in media and doing, TV shows, films, YouTube. I had a little YouTube channel for a while.
What would be some of the notable TV shows that you've worked on that somebody might recognize?
So let's see here. I think I did. So Portlandia is like the first thing I ever did.
Love that show.
Yeah, it's good. I liked it. Fred Armisen was awesome. And then who else? I did a lot of indie stuff. I worked with a lot of like influencers.
Sure.
I did a movie with Logan Paul at one point.
Sure.
Just a few different things. Worked with a few. I don't like name dropping, but I worked with a few celebrities in my day.
Yeah.
And really started getting more involved in like social media. Like creating videos for social media in about 2014, with the invent of Vine. And so did Vine, did YouTube channel right after that.
Yeah.
Then I actually left LA and went to my dad for like 2 years doing some marketing in his restaurant. Yeah. And now I'm back. We've got this, we've got this company and we're going to be servicing clients.
Sure. I mean, so we started the company like a year ago.
Yeah.
We've had a handful of clients. We've done projects that would go across web development, maybe digital development, and then video production, media production in general, creative strategy. So as far as Mental Bullet Media is concerned, that's pretty much what we've done so far. And I didn't know anything about video production.
Wait, before we go into that.
Yeah, sure.
Who are you?
Sure.
And what are you doing?
Sure, let me do a proper introduction. Yeah, so my name is Arman Vakili. I was born in Iran. I'm a Cancer. I enjoy, but I have a banking and financial services and business background, and I've always been fascinated with video production and just media in general, and I always wanted to get into it. Never really knew how I was going to do it until one day I just decided to go for some random audition in LA. We're in LA. So if you haven't auditioned for something in LA, it's kind of like you're not taking advantage of it. So I was like, I might as well do my audition. And then in the same place that you go and you like do all these different auditions and all this different kind of stuff, I met this guy. And then very, very easy person to get along with, very knowledgeable person when it comes down to the world of production and just everything that goes into getting something as simple as this made. And, you guys don't see all this stuff that's actually off camera that's being supportive of it. And I wouldn't, Anyway, so I was more obsessed with advertising and marketing, and it was because it helped me with my sales business, like the direct sales stuff that I was doing. And I just knew that as technology, evolved more and advanced more, like, for example, we have a live stream going right now. This was not possible in 2008, 2009, when I got involved in marketing and advertising. And it was just something that there's so much leverage in it that I was like, I have to figure this out. I have to get into this and try to figure out how to make these types of things. So that's how we kind of got to where we are. And then after we practiced a little bit, and he mentioned his web series, and it wasn't a small project. We like 16 episodes, or how many?
Yeah, 16 episodes.
Yeah, 16 episodes. And then I did my stint in a web series where we made 29 episodes of this hashtag Everything Money show that we did. And so they were received well enough that we're like, okay, we could probably do this as a service. And then people were willing to hire us. So we were like, all right, so maybe we can do this as an actual service. And then so we actually established the business, and here we are. So the purpose of this whole thing and the purpose of the podcast and all the stuff that we're doing is to take you guys along for the ride as you can see us develop and just establish more experience as well as success in this business, and then just learn from the example and all the mistakes that we made, all these things as it's happening. And then from there, hopefully it'll serve valuable to you. If you have any questions, please obviously ask in the comment section. If you want to DM us or email us, feel free to do this kind of stuff because it helps us to actually deliver like a really good product for you guys, like a good experience for you guys. So
I have a question. So, let's say you're a business, right? Sure. And you're wanting to get more clients, more customers in the door.
Yeah.
What's something that you can do? Like what should you be doing?
Sure. So, to kind of take a step back, right? To take a decent enough.
I'm gonna get the dog.
Yeah. 1 second, because we're just gonna take a brief break before we get into this, and we will be right back after we take care of the dogs, because the dogs are, and maybe we can just bleep in and bleep out. You know what I mean? Bleep, that little thing that happens with it. You know what I'm talking about. So let's say, before we get into all of the actual tactical stuff and what you can do on a strategy or day-to-day basis, if you can just take a step back a little bit and actually look at your business and see what pieces are already in place for the infrastructure that you need and the sales mechanisms and all these different systems that you need, what's already there and what needs to be added. So, and a lot of times, just a basic sales funnel is not in place. A lot of times somebody says, I want to go start some kind of a business, and they open up a retail spot and they get their service, whatever it is, they get their inventory, whatever it is. And, hopefully people come in and let's put
what's a sales funnel for people who don't know what that could be?
So a sales funnel, if you could just imagine as the name says, a funnel, right? And we'll just probably try to superimpose one on the screen. If you're watching the video, if you're a podcast viewer, then go watch the video and it'll probably, you probably know what a funnel is. So imagine a funnel. It has one large end, like one big hole at one end, and there's a very small hole at the other end, right?
Usually how funnels work.
Right, sure, that's how funnels work. And then so the idea is you can put a lot more of whatever it is in the big end, and then it kind of filters itself and gets out of the small end. And in the world of sales, if we're talking about what we're trying to put into the big end of our sales funnel is the traffic, the viewership. If it's a retail spot, so if we're talking about a retail business or a restaurant, right? If it's a restaurant or a retail spot, the people that come in is the top of your funnel. It's as soon as I would even venture to say, if they're on the sidewalk in front of your building and they're looking at your window, or if they're looking at the signage on the spot, that's the beginning of the funnel. That's the first time that they're being exposed to who you are. And so as they go further down the funnel, they get closer and closer to becoming a customer, to becoming a repeat customer, to becoming somebody who refers business to you, buys extra product from you. So having this funnel in place is something that most businesses don't even have. Like, they don't even think about it. And again, they're just saying, hopefully that this thing works out. And it's like, well, it's like one of the most basic things you can do for yourself is just have the sales funnel in place.
Like a digital online funnel, right?
Sure, you could have a digital version. You could have the physical version, because I don't know what kind of business you have if you're listening or watching to this, or what kind of business you want to start up if you're listening or watching to this. So these philosophies started offline, right? And then we're just trying to get them online because it's easier, I think, in my opinion, to do it online. It's cheaper to do it online. You get more volume online. So there's a lot of leverage and access that's available online. But the philosophy itself has been around for like God knows how long,
Yeah.
So
Okay, so that's cool. It's a good explanation of the funnel. So going back into sort of the online, so the funnel is what you want to create,
Right.
right?
Yeah. Sure.
Um,
Cool. And we're good with that too. Everything's
still
smoothly. It's still recording. The technology is still working.
Hasn't failed us yet.
Yes, no, it hasn't.
Okay, so that's a pretty good. So that do you think that is like, so creating a sales funnel is basically what you need in order to really get as much traffic as you can from like your audience, like your viewership, and then bringing them down to be a customer.
The sales funnel helps you get the most out of the traffic.
Mm-hmm.
And then, right, and then there's like a completely other thing to generate the traffic.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like whoever does come into your door, the sales funnel is designed to keep them there and get them to become whatever you want them to become, whatever like the end of your sales funnel is. So, yeah.
So what are the aspects or the elements of that funnel? If you were to name
sure,
these?
Yeah. So the traffic part of it is like a whole other conversation, right? But that's the beginning of the funnel is filling it up with viewers and foot traffic or readers or listeners, whatever it is you're trying to accomplish. So that would be the intro of it, but that's like this whole other beast of a thing. So assuming that you have somebody coming in the door, assuming that you have somebody actually landing on your website, viewing your channel, the first part of the sales funnel is to offer them some kind of a really enticing, we call it a lead magnet or a lead capture offer. And so it's some kind of value in exchange for just the contact information. Let me get your name and email, right? Digital format, the easiest way. And I'm sure you've seen this like so many different websites and so many different services. Give us your name and email. We'll give you 10% off your first order. Give us your name and email. We'll give you this free thing in your email right away. Give us your name and email. We'll give you this report or we'll help. I don't know. There's so many different things that you can do, but then translating it to a physical business, right? Translating it to a restaurant, translating it to somebody who sells hoodies, Give us your name and email. That 10% off thing, I feel like it applies to everything. Like you can literally apply that to pretty much every business model. Yeah. That's like, we'll give you 10% off your first order. Refer 3 of your friends, we'll give you 10% off of your order. Stuff like that, where it brings people in with the idea that you just save money, right? So we're trying to save you money. Physical businesses, there's these items. One thing that comes to mind very, very easily for a restaurant, it would be like giving away samples of the sauce.
Sure.
Or giving away, there's these cards that they have.
Like a punch card?
Yeah, the punch card, but then you can have like a digital version of it.
Right.
Where you can check into the business when you arrive. Thing has it. Coffee Bean has it. Starbucks has it. All these different places have it, where it's kind of like an app, basically. You get into the place, they scan your thing, and you get points.
Right. Exactly.
But the app is the lead. Like somebody downloading the app and actually installing it on their phone, you can now follow up with this person over and over and over and over and over again and send them more messages and more promotions and stuff like that. So that's like a really nifty kind of high-tech way of capturing a lead when you're a physical business, when you're an actual retail spot. But then just the easy way would be either those punch cards that just get them to come back, or refer a friend, fill out this sweepstakes and we'll give you free lunch for a month, or fill out the sweepstakes, we'll give you free lunch for a week, something. Where it's like the winner of the sweepstakes gets this like really cool free gift. And then because of the fact this, as long as the sweepstakes is cool, so the whole idea is that the lead magnet needs to be attractive, right? If it's crap, nobody cares. Like nobody wants to give you their contact information. So it has to be something that they actually genuinely do want. Yeah,
it's a thing that they really would value.
Right. Yeah.
So
absolutely.
After the lead,
hey, look at you guys. There's actually 60 people watching this. Good for you. Sorry. Sorry.
After the lead, magnet, what's the next part of it?
So after the lead magnet would be, so because of the fact the lead magnet, a lot of times costs some kind of money.
What do you mean by that?
So there's a cost to acquire a lead, and there's a cost to acquire a sale, right? So if we were to look at it as a online business, the cost to acquire the lead would be let's say the man hours spent in creating content pieces that generate traffic. That's actually cost. Or you actually spend dollars towards advertising to generate traffic. So there's two different versions of the cost, but there is a cost to actually acquire that lead. Make no mistake. Even if you're using free traffic methods, free traffic generator, there's still a cost to acquire the lead. But so there is whatever the cost is to acquire that lead. And so if you're spending money, which is like the most kind of black and white version of it, then you need to make back your cost for acquiring the lead. Otherwise, you're just kind of throwing money away, right? Because if you're not generating any sales, because the purpose of the business is to generate sales, and all you're doing is generating leads, but then nobody from the leads list is buying, then you're just throwing money away. So the whole idea is to offset the cost of those leads. What did I spend to generate the leads? How much energy, how much money, if I had to hire somebody to write articles for me, if I had to hire somebody to edit video for me, if I had to hire somebody to stand outside and hold this flyer saying, come inside the store, I don't know, but there's a cost to that. So whatever that cost is, it needs to be offset. Now, what you use to offset those costs is called the self-liquidating offer. And as the name implies, it's not meant to be a profit gainer. It's self-liquidating. It's liquidating the cost of itself. So if it took 10 leads to get that one sale, whatever the cost of those 10 leads were, usually ends up being the amount that you charge for that self-liquidating offer. So if it cost me $20 to get these 10 people, then I'll charge $20 for this thing, and that $20 offsets the amount of money that I invest into generating that lead. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
Did I explain that? Okay.
Yeah. So then after the self-liquidating liquidating offer,
yeah,
then they go.
Then you go into like profit. Then you actually
got it.
Everything after that. That's the you want fries with that concept, or do you want fries and a drink with that? Because the burger itself isn't really profitable. Like they don't make that much money off it, but they will make a crap load of money on the fries and a crap load of money on the drinks, because the drinks are watered down. They charge you $2 for a small drink. They pack it with ice anyway.
Right.
And it's like, that's profit margin for the place. And so right after the self-liquidating offer, it's called the upsell. Do you want fries with that? Do you want to buy this thing, this other thing that was relatable to your first purchase? 20% of consumers are buyers. Like psychologically, they get off on buying. They get turned on pulling out their credit card and buying stuff. So as a business owner, as a marketer, it's almost irresponsible to not have to not have an upsell. Excuse me. You're leaving money on the table. It's like 20%. Even if you do a crappy job at promoting the upsell, just because you offered something for sale, 20% of people will buy it because they're buyers. Yeah. And then you have 20%, 30% of people that I don't like researching my thing and I don't want to buy it on the first thing. So you have all these different personalities, but I'm looking for the person that's interested in buying today, because if I can sell it to you right away and then sell you the next thing if you want to buy it, then it's like you're leaving money on the table if you don't do it. Mm-hmm. So that's where all the profit comes in, right? It's like actually getting the first upsell. We can talk about examples probably in future videos. Right now, I think it's just more like a general overview of it. But we can talk about the different formats of what the upsells would be, but that's where you make the money, basically, is the actual in the upsell. That's where all the profit margins lie.
Okay. So what are like all the steps if you had to list them all out?
All the steps.
So like all the rungs of that funnel. So starting from the top, you have the
lead magnet, right? The lead offer. Then the very next thing would be the self-liquidating offer, which is you're just offsetting the cost of the thing. Right after the self-liquidating offer would be the upsell, and then the next upsell, and then the next upsell. And since you're going further and further down the funnel, the people who buy all the upsells, like as the funnel gets thinner, the numbers will become less and less. But because of the fact that the margins of your upsells are so high, you don't need to make that many sales to actually get all of that profit. So as long as your self-liquidating offer is doing a good job of offsetting your lead acquisition cost, then everything after that is just straight profit anyway. So that's really the general thing of it. And so if you were to, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say that so what does it look like for a business? Let's say you are a dog groomer or whatever, right?
Sure.
Just to give people a little bit of an example of what that looks like for a person who's a dog groomer, right? So, your traffic is coming from the top of the funnel, right? From your, whatever it is, you got a podcast, you got this, that, and the other. And then so when they get to your website, first thing they see is the lead magnet, right?
The lead magnet.
So what would that look like for a dog groomer?
For a dog groomer, lead magnet would be, I'll give you half off your first session. If you refer 3 friends, I'll give you your first session for free.
And that's
just a lead magnet.
That's just a lead magnet.
Yeah.
Right?
That's just just as many different versions of trying to get somebody's information in your list, right? And so
and the purpose of having that list
is for marketing, remarketing, to be able to go back to these people if there's, if somebody doesn't want to hire you the same day, but they're in the market to hire dog groomers and they just got groomed, they just got their dog groomed, but they had a shitty experience. And so they don't want to go back to that dog groomer and they're looking for a new dog groomer and they ended up on your website. Now they want to be a part of your list because they're going to hire you next week or hire you next 2 weeks. So you need to be able to follow up with that person, because if the only option that's on the website is hire me right now or don't hire me, and the person didn't need to hire you, but they're actually in the market to hire you, you lost a potential customer. So you got to capture the information for all of the people that aren't going to buy today, which is like 80%, 90% of people, right? Right. But they're in the market for it. Right. So that's
so eventually at some point down the line, they may be looking for, dog groomer. Okay. Yeah. So then we have the lead magnet, which is that, let's say you have a third, refer 3 friends and you get your first session for free.
Sure.
So then after that, what's the next step?
The next step would be that SLO. So for a dog groomer, a self-liquidating offer would, let's say you have a home grooming kit that you can recommend them to buy off of Amazon and you get an affiliate commission off of that sale. Or you just put your own little home grooming kit together where it has you buy your combs wholesale, you buy your shampoo wholesale, whatever, and you just make these little packs together and you sell that up front because the person can't spend or just can't do it that day, whatever their reason is for not making the higher end purchase. You just want them to make some kind of a purchase, right? You just want them to take their credit card out and do something. So home grooming kit would be cool. Customized pet accessories would be an easy sell. Or gift certificate, where it's like, buy the gift certificate, it'll be half off of the actual service, and then you can either use it for yourself or just use it, give it to somebody who has a pet, right? And so it's something that they can do that day while they're on the website. It's low commitment, because if you give me half off of the actual session and all I have to do is buy this gift certificate, then cool. Why not pay half, of the actual price? So yeah.
And that's a self-liquidating offer.
That's a self-liquidating offer, right? Because it's like, give me 3 referrals and I give you 1 session for free. Buy this voucher and your second session will be half off. So your first 2 sessions are already discounted, heavily. Yeah. But now you're in. You're in the funnel. You know what I mean? Because to refer the 3 friends, you have to create a profile and give me your contact information anyway. So I can track who referred these people to me. Right? So I can give you the credit for it. So you have to give me your contact information anyway. So that's 1 lead. Referring the 3 friends, that's 3 other leads. That's 4 leads. Now, for those 4 leads, is it worth it for me to, especially if I'm up and coming, especially in service type businesses like dog groomers, because there isn't really that much cost if you're the dog groomer. The cost is your gas and then your time and your energy. So you can afford, towards the beginning of your building your business and trying to establish your clientele, you can afford to give one away for free. But then like later on, when it becomes like this really, really busy business, then it's like, all right, refer 3 of your friends, I'll give you half off. Refer 3 of your friends, I'll give you 25% off. Refer 3, I'll give you 10% off. So as you get busier and busier and busier, that discount can become smaller because the value has already been established within your market that this guy's or this gal does good work.
Right.
So I want to get them to do this for me.
Got it.
And then obviously when you get more established at that point, all of your lead capture stuff could change as well because it could be even more valuable, and your access to actual physical products will probably change, so you can change your SLO. So a lot of things will change as you get success and as you get experience.
Yeah. Okay. And then so after the self-liquidating offer, it goes from that to the upsell, right?
Right. And so that would be, you know, what you actually like at this point is, you know, my first upsell would be
the home grooming kit, right?
Well, that would be like an SLO, right? Because if we can do like a really dope SLO where it's like super valuable, but like it's low cost, builds a lot of credibility and a lot of faith and rapport with you. But then it's like your first upsell would be like, all right, we'll do grooming and shampooing for, you know, $50, whatever, 75. I don't know what the economics are of that business, but let's say $50. If it's some like outlandish number, I guess.
Right.
The next thing would be we'll do the dog's nails and like we'll blow dry their hair as well as cut it and give them the wash, and that'll be $100-something. Next thing will be I'll give them a flea treatment. I'm just thinking about all the things that I've spent for my dogs, like all the all the money that I spent for them. And it's like, yeah, so there's all these different packages that they offer where it's like, and it's literally, they have it listed as upsells. It's on their thing, you know what I mean? Where it's like, just pick the one that you want to buy and we'll just give you that package. So it's like, you can customize it to your creativity, really.
Right. Nice. And then, so that's, and then you just keep, so, you know, I've heard there's like a rule of 3 or whatever, right? Where it's like, you don't want to go past, or was it two or 3 no's? You don't want to have them say no a certain amount of times
on what exactly?
On the upsells.
So finish the thought. So what's the rule exactly? Yeah.
So it's like, you know, if you got the offer and they say no to that, then you do, or you like, let's say they buy something or whatever, right? Let's say they buy the first thing. You do the upsell, they buy it, then you give them another upsell and they say no. And then you give them another upsell and they say no, then you would stop at that point, you know. Or if they buy the thing, then you say no twice and you wouldn't go any further. Because it's like, you know, it's getting annoying, you know, at a certain point, you know.
So I think that's actually probably industry based. It's maybe personality based in a lot of cases, because certain sales mentors that I had were like, you know, the minimum is you got to take 5 no's before you walk away. And certain people would say the minimum is you got to take 10 no's. And it's like, so it's, you know, interesting segue, because the autoresponder is like a tool that we definitely want to cover and we want to talk about, because it's a very easy way to automatically, systematically follow up with your prospects. So as soon as they enter the top of the sales funnel and they become a lead, they enter their name and email, and they immediately branch off into 2 places. One place is what happens on the very next page, which is the self-liquidating offer. But their email goes into your autoresponder, which is going to just follow up with them. And you can set up all of your messages automatically on your autoresponder, set up messages for, let's say, 10 days, where they just get followed up with consistently for the next 10 days. You're in front of them. The idea here, and this is based on a book by Gary Vaynerchuk called Jab, 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 Right Hook. The idea is to jab with your content. The idea is to jab with your messages, which is value in the world of marketing and branding. Each jab is value. So think about it like this, and I've actually heard of restaurants doing this, and by the time that like a year or two went by, they were packed out. Like the reputation of the restaurant had gone to such a level that the place was constantly packed out. It was good quality food, but he was giving like free meals away to people at the beginning. Meals, not a meal. Person would come in. The whole thing was, if you're not satisfied for any reason, I'll comp you. And some people try to take advantage of it, obviously, because there are people like that. But then there were some people that they were like, you know what, honestly, I thought it was cool, but I just didn't like this. And they were like, no problem, I'll comp you. And then he did this with, like, I think it was he was strategic with it, because he didn't do it for like all of the people, but there was a hand group of people that were influential enough, that were like within their local community, that he knew this person knew people. He always brings people with him, so on and so forth. So it's worth it for me to make sure that this person is taken care of when they come in here. So whenever that person would come in alone, they would get comped, because he knew that they would always bring back a group of people with him. And so it just turned into this, what happens when a snowball, the snowball effect. So it turns into this snowball effect where like it was 2 or 3 people that started bringing groups with them. Then it turned into 5 to 10 people that started bringing groups with them. And then it just turned into this thing where everybody just kept bringing groups, and then the place got packed out. And towards the beginning, I'm sure there was a lot of cost, because it's like you're giving all these free meals away. But it ended up working in the sense that like that reputation was just so, and the food was good. That was the other part, is that like as all of these things came back and the person was like, well, I didn't like this part, he fixed that part. He made that thing taste better, or whatever needed to be fixed with the service. And so all of the feedback that gradually came in kept improving the restaurant, and it just turned into this thing that was, a monster of a place. So this applies to anything. Like you could literally do this with anybody. And the more jabs you give, the more value you give away, the more people feel guilted almost to buy from you, because they're like, wow, I got so much from this place. I got to buy something. I got to do something with this person. I got to refer them something, you know what I mean? So that part is really, really, really valuable. And so going back to the whole getting rejected thing, if your approach isn't to constantly sell, then you don't have to worry about getting rejected. Because if you're focused on massively delivering value to the point where you are just delivering over, like, what's the word that Gary Vaynerchuk uses? Disproportionate. Yeah. You're delivering a disproportionate amount of value to what you're asking from them. Where it's like you're giving like 10x to what you're asking from them. They're 90% of the time, they're going to buy from you. So it has to be a strategy, right? It needs to be something that, and we're going to get like really, really into the nitty gritty of this, because like you need examples, like actual examples, to know what different ways that you can approach this and what are all the different ways that you can add value to somebody. And it doesn't have to actually be giving away free product. You can give away so many other things and build all of these value elements into the funnel and into your business. Doesn't matter what kind of industry you're in. So that just takes like this whole other conversation. I don't want to get too far ahead.
Yeah. Definitely. I think that that's like that's a pretty good good cap at the end, because it's, there's a lot more to cover, and there's a lot more to cover, and definitely there's some things that you can do, even content wise, just to give value to people. Even if you do have a physical business or product based business, you can give people informational value over a course of months or whatever, and then then you can ask for the sale, or you can give them even another piece of value where it's like, oh hey, you've been following us for X amount of time, you come and enjoy some free French fries and a drink or something like that. Thank you for being such a loyal follower. Gets them in the store, then they're going to be buying other things. What I mean? So yeah, there's a lot of things, a lot of ways you can kind of sort of maneuver,
This what we're doing.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
This is literally one of the value pieces that we're offering to people.
Yeah.
And then what's really cool about value itself is that you can actually ingrain sales into it. For example, hey, you're listening to this podcast. Hey, you're watching this video. I just want you to know, I don't want there to be any confusion, that we actually have a professional service business that does marketing for businesses. It does media production for businesses. It does promotional branding. We do all of these things for businesses. So if you don't have a sales funnel, we'll do the creative strategy to create your sales funnel for you. So we offer this as a service. I just don't want to cram it down your throat and just constantly sell to you. So what we're going to do is we're just going to keep giving value to you guys until you actually understand that, hey, we know what we're talking about. Maybe I should hire these guys. Or instead of doing all the work that they're telling me to do, I don't want to do all the work. Maybe I should hire these guys. So that's kind of like how, and then this literally can apply to anything. So the restaurant thing, you give them whatever you're giving away for free, but then you have this little just portion right next to the register that has like really expensive candy or something, or like really expensive fill in the blank. And then you just, hey, this is for free. Enjoy this. No problem. By the way, we also have this stuff. I'm not buy this. I'm not doing that, but I'm just saying you can have this thing for free. But if you're interested, we also have this part.
Mm-hmm.
So don't be afraid of letting them know that stuff is available for sale. But there is a difference between letting them know that it's available and like hard selling and pitching and like, do this. Oh my God, it's the best thing that you could do. No.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks guys for watching. And we will see you on the next one.
Yes, we will see you on the next one.